Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a duo hot tent overnighter with my buddy Mike, and we have two very interesting style of tents that we're both excited about testing out. So we're going to get collecting some firewood really quickly, as we do want a coffee and we need to get squared away for the evening. The sun right now is very high in the sky, the winds are picking up, and the temperatures are going down below zero tonight. So what do you say we get some firewood done?
Let's get that done and get some coffee.
All right, firewood time, guys. All right, guys, we've got our hot cup of coffee on the go right now. We've got a fair bit of firewood processed as well. We've even done some wood for the inside of the tent and the outside fire pit, as we had enough time to do so. So we're going to relax for a little bit, let this fire smolder down a little bit. It is getting quite smoky, and I'm watching for the breeze and the embers as well, just to make sure they don't go that way towards the tent. But right now we're going to enjoy coffee, and I think after this we're actually going to make our way down towards the lake's edge, fill up on some fresh water, come back up here, and start on some supper. Cheers, guys. All right, guys, so we're back from the lake. We both filled up on water. I've got a kettle and a pot full of water, and we're gonna finish up a little bit more wood for the wood stoves in a little bit later on this evening, I think. I think we're just gonna pause on the wood processing. The sun is dipping below the trees, and we wanna start on supper. So I'm gonna be cooking over the fire. I believe Mike's gonna be doing something similar to that as well. So we're gonna get started on that right away. All right, guys. Well, nighttime is just about here. The sun has dipped way below the trees. The cold air is starting to set in, and it's going to be a chilly one this evening. So I've got my wood stove burning quite fierce right now. I've got all kinds of wood. I'm not worried about burning through it. Mike just got his stove going in his tent as well, and basically just getting things ready for nighttime. So I have my USB light bulb that I bring with me all the time, and I've got a small battery bank that I brought with me. The top of this tent has all kinds of loops and little hooks at the top, so hanging this is going to be no problem at all. I'm basically just going to route it and kind of dangle it right above, right where my head's going to be, just to have a nice atmosphere inside of the tent later on when I do shut all the doors. Plus, the wood stove has 3 glass windows. That is going to light up the entire area. It's going to be awesome inside of here. So I'm going to take a few more moments here, get everything ready for nightfall, and then we're probably going to be sitting in front of the campfire for a while and just enjoying the nightlife. And there's no stars in the sky either, I will mention that. So complete blue sky right now. I'm thinking it's going to get really cold and we're going to have a ton of stars up in the sky. So I want to be ready for that. We're going to take care of some camp chores and we'll check back with you right next to the campfire. All right, guys, we've got Mike over here cutting up a little bit more firewood, and it is definitely getting dark very quickly, and it's getting quite a bit colder. I just checked the thermometer. It is 4 degrees Celsius right now and coming down rather quickly. I've got a cold drink on the go, which is not really helping, but it is very nice. And I think we're going to be sitting around the campfire for a little while this evening. After all, we did work for it, right?
Exactly.
We got all the firewood cut, so we are going to be spending some time outside this evening, and I'm actually looking forward to it after a long day of work and hiking. And it's just going to be nice to relax. There are owls out as well. They're hooting in the trees off in the distance, quite far away. So that's going to be an interesting time, but we're just going to continue getting a little bit more firewood processed. I'm going to grab my saw, give him a hand, and get a nice pile built up so we can get it on the fire and then just kick back and relax. All right, guys, just coming over to the tent, getting some wood in the stove. I need to bring my kettle up to a boil because that is water from the lake. And I just checked the temperature, and it is 3.1 degrees Celsius after holding it in my hands. Before I held it, it was 2.5. So we're between 2.5 and 3.1 degrees Celsius right now. It is getting cold very, very, very quickly. And it's getting pretty awesome. I'm excited for wintertime. So we're now just about to settle in next to the campfire. Just want to do the last round of kind of camp cleanup. I am going to shut this door now, and I'm also going to shut my awning door. And basically the next time I come into the tent, I'll be coming in at the far end, crawling all the way through, and get nice and comfortable inside for movie night, but that won't be till later on. Of course, when I do come in later on, I'll bring you guys in with me so you guys can have a look and do a good night message. But until then, I am going to be camped in front of the campfire for a little while. Just want to get this fire roaring enough to get that boiling and basically start relaxing. All right, guys, just coming over to the end of the tent. I got my thermometer hanging outside, and it is currently reading 1 degree Celsius. So we are literally hovering just above freezing, and I can certainly feel it in my fingers. I can feel it on the back of my neck. Now, I haven't put on my wool sweater yet because I am sitting right next to the campfire, and being that close to the campfire is actually really warm. But over here away from the tent, really far away from the fire and the wood stove, it is hovering at just above freezing. So it is going to get very cold tonight. The frost is definitely going to set in, and we're both looking forward to this. So I'm going to get back over to the campfire. I just wanted to get this hung up here, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on it probably over the next hour and a half. When I go inside, I'm going to bring it inside with me, and I'll let you guys know the inside and outside temperature so you guys can get an idea of what kind of temps can be generated in this tent with that stove. So back over to the campfire. All right, guys, well, making my way inside of the tent for the evening. Mike is also inside of his tent, and it is getting very, very warm inside. So when I came inside of the tent, it was -4 degrees Celsius outside. It is quite chilly out there. And coming inside, I've got my thermometer hanging up here, and let me just check, 22.3 degrees Celsius right now. So it is 22 degrees Celsius, -4 outside. And that stove is pumping out some really nice heat. So I'm basically going to be lounging inside of the tent for the rest of the evening. I've got my phone over here. I've got a movie on it that I do want to watch. So I'm going to be watching a movie. And I've also got a load of firewood. So if you guys notice over here, I did collect more firewood, mainly because I don't want to be bundled up in my sleeping bag while I'm watching movies. I like kind of being free and moving around. I also have snacks in here as well, and I still need to get changed into my sleep clothing. One bonus is I brought my downfill pants with me, and I've got a pair of wool socks as well, so this is definitely going to help with lounging inside of the tent without being bundled up in a big sweater or a big sleeping bag. That's what I like to do. So all that extra firewood's going to allow me to do that, get this tent really nice and hot, and just basically be comfortable. So it's going to be movie night. I just wanted to say goodnight to you guys and give you guys an update on the temperature outside and inside, and I'll check it again. 23.4 degrees Celsius. So it's getting warm inside of here. Definitely too warm for this hat and hoodie. So I'm going to be getting changed and basically doing my nighttime routine basically. So I'm going to say goodnight to you guys, and I'll catch up with you first thing in the morning for a hot cup of coffee. Good night, guys. Good morning, guys. It is a frosty morning out here in the forest. As you can see, I've got the tent totally opened up, but don't let that fool you because the temperatures are just hovering above freezing. So I've got my down pants on, I've got wool socks, I've got other pants underneath, shirt, sweater, I've got all that stuff on. I'm actually quite cozy right now sitting here in the doorway of the tent. That stove is rocking out some serious heat for the size of the tent and the size of the stove. I could feel the heat on my hand from here with both doors wide open. So give you guys an update. Last night it did get down to about -4, if I recall what I mentioned to you guys before bed. -4 Celsius, and then this morning when I got up, it was at 1.9 degrees Celsius. And when I flicked the door open, the condensation that was on the inside of the door totally crystallized into ice instantly. So the back side of the tent is frosty and covered in ice, and everything else here is nice and warm and dry. So I did crawl into my down bag last night, and I basically left it unzipped all the way and just kind of tucked my feet inside of it. On top of my sleeping pad, I enjoyed a movie, and then it was lights out. I loaded one last log on the stove, and I let it burn out like I always do, just because I can't be bothered with waking up putting wood in the stove. My philosophy is pack for the cold, not for the hot. So bring a good sleeping bag, bring a good pad, and just go to sleep. Relight the stove in the morning time, and that's the easiest way for me personally. So I've already done breakfast. I've got oatmeal done. I'm still finishing up my coffee right now. Mike is awake. He's over inside of his tent right now doing his breakfast routine. And as soon as he's done that, we're both going to snuff our stoves out, get them out, get those cooled down. And then we're going to start on the pack-up process because we do have a fair distance to travel this morning to get back to the truck. And that's basically going to be it. So we're just going to lounge around camp. He's going to do his thing. I'm doing my thing. And let the stoves burn out, start the pack-up process. All right, guys, we've got everything packed up now. It was a little bit of time, and we just did not feel like filming the pack up. It was way too much involved, getting the stoves cooled down, the large tent and everything wrapped up, all the frost and water, freezing cold. Oh, yeah. So with that all aside, we do have one more task. The fire pit is smoking. We're gonna have to run down to the lake, grab a kettle of water, come back up and dump it out, which is totally fine because I actually want to check out the lake this morning anyways. But both of our packs are totally stuffed and ready to go. Mike had a lot of food, and you can see where all the food went. It is no longer in his backpack.
Bigfoot came and took it.
Yeah, so he had a whole bunch of food. Mine, I just opened up my down to kind of let it loft up, and that's typically what I do with my backpack. But all in all, Mike was a little bit cold last night.
Yes, I was. After my stove went out,
Yeah.
It was started cooling down. I was like, yeah, I zipped up my sleeping bag.
Yeah, so he may be looking at an upgrade for a sleeping pad possibly. Yeah. More on that, and you guys can check out his channel as well. I'm sure he'll have a story on it. But I slept very, very warm, comfortable. I brought my full winter kit, of course, and Mike's still kind of building his kit out. But for this adventure, we're all done, and everything's packed up and ready to go. We got to get that fire snuffed out, and then we're going to be hitting the trail. So I'm going to pack the camera away. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop it down in the comment section as always. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one.
Later.